Okay, so we started working again, and this is actually what was done today. For some reason, your license key for your theme was missing or invalid, so I went ahead and updated that. I updated, and I'll show you this in a second, the WPMU dashboard. It was very out of date. Installed and configured a couple new things. Smart Crawl, that's going to help us boost your page rank in search engines and a couple other things. Also installed Hummingbird. It's an app that helps to improve load times and the overall speed on your site. Installed something called Seamless Facebook Integration. I think this is going to work really well for our social efforts as well, because people can actually go in and log on to your site using Facebook and leave comments on the site as their Facebook profile instead of having to log in and create a separate login on your site, which is great. 12 plugins were out of date, so I made sure that those were updated as well. So what we're going to be looking at now is this is what it's going to look like on your dashboard currently, and what's going on your dashboard currently. So you've got your at a glance, you've got 234 posts, 182 comments, 14 pages, 23 items in your FAQ section. Moz is something we're going to get to in a little bit. This is going to be having to do with domain authority and boosting that as well. Now, let me go over some Google Analytics and some things that I see that can be done a little bit better that I'm going to be recommending in June, July, August, over the next 90 days for us to go and use moving forward to even improve these stats even more. So first off, if we look and we see where you were at a year ago, it was way further down the pipeline than where you are at today, which is great. So since it's been about a year since we've launched, you can see that there's been continuous growth. Now, there was a dip here in February. I believe that was when we had some website issues, but other than that, it's been very continual growth. And, just if there is a drop, it's been very minor. That's just been in the last few months since we haven't really been actively doing anything on the site. But as you can see, when we're actively working on it, there's definitely steady growth and more people getting to your site, which that in and of itself is a success. It means that we're getting the traffic there. Now, what we need to have a conversation about from that point on is how we need to convert the traffic, and some things that I'm going to recommend so that we can do that. You do have your lead page still intact. This is just really the back part of your website, which we've gone over a couple times. There is revive old post. There is some things on Twitter I think I need from you. As I go through this line by line, I'll be sending you things through Todoist as your tasks, and Todoist has even updated it to where it will send you reminders of what I need so that we can stay on task and stay on top of these things. Visita, if you want to keep this is great. If not, I have another recommendation that'll save you. I think you're on the $468 a year plan with Visita. If we want to switch this out, which it's very possible, to another platform, it's not quite as robust as what Visita is, but since you're really only using Visita to gather leads and have them vetted through your assistant, we might not need to keep this for you. So I'm going to suggest something that's going to be a much cheaper solution. It would be a $75 one-time solution as opposed to an annual fee. That's going to be completely up to you. But that'll be in the recommendations that I send over. Hummingbird is something I'm going to be configuring. What this does is it's going to speed up the load time of your website and do some things on your website that just make it run faster, which I'm thinking, well, I hope will keep your bounce rate even lower. By the way, bounce rate is somebody who's going to your site and they're looking at it and then they're clicking off. 54% on your bounce rate is actually very good. I'd like to get it to 50 and below, but 54% is really just about where you want to be anyway. And then your organic search, people are finding you organically. They're staying on your website for approximately 2.26 pages, which is great. It means they are clicking on things. So we want to keep them there a little bit longer if we can, but it does mean we're getting attention, and it also means we're keeping it, which definitely shows success in that arena as well. Facebook, this is what I was telling you, what we're going to have to do. What I'm going to have to do is build an actual app on Facebook for you and then connect that app to your website. Don't worry about the technicalities of that. That's my concern. But this is really going to be kind of a game changer for you in the sense of how we're able to successfully integrate Facebook and your website very, very organically and very, very easily. So that's just kind of a quick overview of the back end of your site. The next things I'm going to be sending you is I'm going to be going through things line by line. You know, feel free to log in and ask any questions of me that you have as I go through this. But I'll be going through some things line by line, showing you how I'm setting things up, showing you some things I want to change. But really the next thing I want to get to with this is going to be front end of your site. Okay, front end of your site. Few things that I want to go over with you. Just a few minute changes that I think are going to help the look and overall feel of your site. One thing is I did change this from Krista to info. The info on your dashboard still forwards to Krista at Branch Family Law. It just looks better. So I want to do some things that are a little bit more aesthetically pleasing as far as the site is concerned. For example, on the menu, I want to make this a little bit more attention grabbing. I want to change the font, make it just a little bit larger, maybe bold it up a little bit so that it catches people's attention as far as the menu is concerned. I am going to shrink down your Sumo Me Share options a little bit. You know, not to do anything really other than because people can always go and, you know, click on different shared things, but I want to kind of shrink it down to give new visitors to your site better insight as to what's getting shared and where it's getting shared. So, you know, obviously we can see you're popular on Facebook, you're popular on LinkedIn. We're not getting a lot of traction here. Now, Google Plus is on the verge of being euthanized anyway, so I'm not going to stress about Google Plus with you at all. I would like to see a little bit more on Twitter, and I need to make sure that your API key is set up for success there. And then social bookmarking sites, I am going to put on other pages, but not necessarily on your home page. So I'm going to customize your floating bar a little bit just to make it look a little bit cooler. Another thing I wanted to say was on this here, your practice area site, one thing I do want to recommend doing and one thing I do want to start working on is actually having a few more long tail keywords for SEO proficiency in Google, and that's going to come with like a traffic guide that I've got that I want to really double your traffic. At the end of the day, what I want is at the end of August is your traffic doubled and more clientele coming in online so that I can build a case study around that. The Contact Us Today form I would like to change just a little bit in look and feel. Maybe even change up this background color a little bit and shrink this area just a touch because this picture just takes up so much of your digital real estate. I want them to say, yeah, okay, we're here. We're at Krista Branch's, you know, attorney page. We can contact her. We've got this little, you know, blurb about her right here. That's great. But let's really make it pop. And then here is actually where I wanted to put your magic statement. Instead of focusing just on legal experience, putting, you know, at Branch Family Law, we focus on preserving families and protecting assets here in this section. Again, to kind of grab people's attention and keep them there. Another thing, as I've become a little bit more proficient in doing some things in WordPress, there's some things I'd like to change just in the look and feel of this section, just to make it pop a little bit more, just to make it flow a little bit better. It's not going to change the wording. It's not going to change anything with that. It's just going to make it look aesthetically more pleasing. So what I would like for you to do is just look through these different things and tell me what you might like to add or subtract from that. And then here, if you do have other photos of you, because we're kind of stuck like, you know, on our lawyers page and this page, I'd like to see different pictures of you that you might have, different professional pictures of you. So anything you can send to me in that regard would be incredibly helpful. And then practice areas, I want to clean up a little bit. I want to kind of change this up a little bit as well. You know, and maybe make this more of your bio. So what I'm kind of thinking of doing is, because it's almost redundant, is what we could do is have this be your bio and then split this in half and have practice areas maybe over here or vice versa down here. And then of course I do, you know, definitely always want more testimonials. I will check your Facebook page to see if any more have been left, but the more I have, the better. And then featured on, if you have any more of these, this is incredibly helpful to me. And then I do want to get, I think what I really want to do is actually have some things on here as far as like a dedicated awards section. and then clean up the footer of your page a little bit. And that's just some of what I want to do with the home page, just to make it clean, crisp, more effective, and just, better overall design. So what my proposal is fitting as much of this as possible into your monthly budget, and then I'll send you whatever would be over and above that. Since what I can do is automate a lot of the social media stuff, I can at least reduce, I think, some of the monthly down and put some more attention to the site and some more attention to some other things without having to change what you're paying monthly too much. And I just feel like that would be fair. And I think that's probably going to get you the best results, which gets us the best results, because when you're happy, we're happy. So these are just some ideas I have, and I don't want to inundate you and overwhelm you with stuff right now. But homepage, I do kind of want to, I want to mess with it a little bit. I'd like to make it look prettier. And I'd like to do a few other things. So that'll be kind of in my proposal, but I'm going to try to scale it down into bits and pieces for you, so that it's like, okay, we'll do this little bit here, this little bit here, this little bit here. So it'll be over kind of a 90-day span, so that, you're seeing a little bit of a difference every month, but we're still working, with you and for you every month on these different things. And then, of course, if there's something else you wanted to add, like Facebook advertising, Twitter advertising, LinkedIn advertising, I think, another go round at a Facebook ad would be a good thing. I think, there's a couple things that we can, kind of focus on as far as that's concerned. I'd like to have some simultaneous ads running, in as much as having some A/B testing, seeing which type of ad performs better on the same subject. So, maybe give some thought into that. But that's just kind of an overview of what I'm thinking and what's on my mind, and just kind of giving you a report of where you're at on that. Of course, I'll give you a report of where you're at on your social media and what we'll be working on with that as well. But these are just some things that I'm starting to work on and getting that to you. So I guess keep your eyes out for that report. And that'll be in addition to this video. So hope you're having a great evening, and we'll be in touch.